Welcome everyone to my channel. This is Bruce the Boss Brooks, and don't forget to go smash on that like button as well as subscribe and hit the little notification bell so you can get notified of my latest content. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, when most people think of Bruce Lee, most people are probably thinking about this. They think of the martial artist, the actor, and one of the founding fathers, if not the founding father of mixed martial arts that we see and enjoy today in forms like the UFC. But just as Bruce Lee sought to revolutionize martial arts, he also sought to revolutionize the way people thought and the way that they saw themselves and the world around them. Not too many people are aware of Bruce Lee, the philosopher. So with this video, I really want to introduce many people to the Bruce Lee I've come to know and love. Another side of Bruce Lee many aren't too familiar with. So here is a clip from a 1971 interview he did where the interviewer asked him how he saw himself. Without further ado, here we go.
You still think of yourself Chinese, or do you ever think of yourself as North American?
You know what I want to think of myself? As a human being. Because, I mean, I don't want to sound like, as Confucius say, but under the sky, under the heaven, man, there is but one family. It just so happened, man, that people are different.
Now, Bruce Lee would expound on that even further in that same interview. Roll the clip.
You see, actually, I do not teach, karate because I do not believe in styles anymore. I mean, I do not believe that there is such thing as like Chinese way of fighting or the Japanese way of fighting or whatever way of fighting, because unless human beings have 3 arms and 4 legs, we will have a different form of fighting. But basically, we have only 2 hands and 2 feet. So styles tends to not only separate men, because they have their own doctrines, and then the doctrine became the gospel truth, that you cannot change, but if you do not have styles, if you just say, well, here I am, as a human being, how can I express myself totally and completely? Now, that way, you won't create a style, because style is a crystallization, that way, it's a process of continuing growth.
So the larger reason why Bruce Lee said that earlier statement about how he just sees himself as a human being, he kind of expounded on that in that segment of the interview as well, where he said the reason why he tries to do away with labels, not just in labeling himself as an individual, but even labels with martial arts, fighting styles, is because styles and labels in general tend to separate people. One of the people who had a big influence on Bruce Lee's philosophy and way of thinking, a man by the name of Jeet Kun Do, even explained how a lot of these labels are actually violent or violence. Because most people, when they think of violence, they're only thinking about physical and or verbal attacks. But as Krishnamurti would explain in a lot of his teachings and or discussions, was that violence isn't just the mere acting of it, but you have to also look at the cause of violence, the seed of violence, which is largely labels which divide people, and that division will breed conflict later on down the road. Because when you look at the fruit of violence, it's usually always someone attacking someone different from themselves, and not just different by skin tone or skin complexion or quote unquote ethnicity, because even look back at the Rwanda genocide of 1993-94, where anywhere from 500,000 to 1 million Africans, Rwandans, were massacred not by people who looked differently than them, but rather people who just identified themselves with a different tribe. Imagine if we eliminated these labels that divided us from one another and instead just started to embrace everyone as part of the same human family. Imagine if we, like Bruce Lee suggested and was teaching and hinting at, that we eliminate all these borders that separate us from one another. Acknowledge and come to appreciate and love that, yes, we do have different skin complexions and hair textures, but then just about everything else in terms of our accents, our ways of thinking, our experiences, different beliefs, different languages are, again, mostly all the result of our geographic locations as well as mostly family. But at the end of the day, you're still my brother, you're still my sister. Maybe then we'll be able to come together as one people, one human race, one family, and getting rid of all of these things that, again, divide us and keep us fighting potentially with one another. By no longer limiting ourselves by our melanin, our skin complexion, our ethnicity, or where we're from, not limiting what we're able to like, what we can be interested in. You know, like Bruce Lee said, just imagine if we could just say, here I am as a human being. How can I just express myself totally and completely? Being free to like what I want to like, not limited by, well, because I am this, I'm only supposed to like this and that, and I'm supposed to hate this, or I'm supposed to be good at this because of my ethnicity, because of my nationality. We're seeing just how bad these divisions based upon ethnicity, nationality, or political belief or political ideology are really bad for the world, not just any particular nation. So I really just wanted to share that thought. Please tell me what you think. Don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section below. Like this video, share this video, and don't forget, if you have not done so already, subscribe to this video and hit that little notification bell so you can get notified of my latest content. This is Bruce the Boss Brooks, and I'm out.